Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I know it's been a long time. I'm happy to have you here with me and I hope you enjoy this topic. Continuing on talking about Iblis and the Jinn and angels and their origin stories because I think they're very fascinating. Um, so beginning right away, the Yezidi people talk about they call it the Malek Taus, and this is like a peacock angel. It's considered the chief of all angels. It's like the deputy for God on earth. And the Yazidi are an interesting people. They migrated out of India. They consider themselves ancient Babylonians. And in modern times, people have, at one point in time anyway, and for, well, actually for quite a bit of period of history, they were considered perhaps devil worshippers. And the reason being is because they worship this angel, this peacock angel. And in Islam, they consider this angel to be Iblis, to be akin to the shaitan, the Satan. And that is why they're considered devil worshippers. But the reason that they revere this angel is because, as we listened to, well, as I discussed in the previous video talking about Iblis, that he would not bow to mankind when mankind was made. And I thought that was, it was difficult to come up with, to explain my idea about the statues and stuff like that, and that maybe it was something to do with statues, because there was a lot of statue worship. But then I got to wondering if, to go ahead and see all perspectives. And in this perspective that it was a man, it was flesh, it was us, and God commanded him to bow, and he did not. Now the Yazidi, and therefore he was cursed for it in a way, and becomes the Satan, the adversary. But in the Yezidi tradition, it's very interesting because they consider that he had a choice. And I'm going to get into this in a minute about angels and choice because that doesn't float quite, but it's still that's just the case. So in their tradition, that is the case. And so they believe that he couldn't have been commanded, that Iblis couldn't have been commanded, and Iblis to them appears to be the Malek Taus, this peacock angel. A very beautiful angel, the most beautiful of all the angels, that kind of thing. The same kind of perspective as Lucifer, for example. Anyway, so in their account, of course, God gives this command for him to bow before the human that he made, Adam. And Iblis does not. He believes it's a test because he was so dedicated and devoted to God that he would only bow to God. And so he couldn't bow to man. And so that was more the case. And so they believe that he actually had this amazing, just great devotion of sorts, and was a fantastic example for mankind of understanding, putting nothing before the giving all of the, because they're monotheistic, giving all of the power to God. So in this way, they saw this act of Iblis, or this Malek Taus, or the devil, or Satan, or however you want to, or maybe, I guess in some cultures, Lucifer, if you're equating Lucifer to Islam, they're similar, and seem to be the same, possibly the same being. But, so there's that. We'll just start with that. But the thing that I want to mention is that it is interesting about the angels having a choice. And so in some accounts, Iblis is a fiery angel. And in other accounts, it's a jinn. I'm leaning towards it was, for some reason, a jinn, because I have heard in every account that angels don't have free will. And they also don't have a gender per se. They're like neither male nor female. They're more like, if you've ever heard of seraphim and cherubim, these are not like necessarily look like people. These are like flames and wings, and sometimes they're half animal, and they're just I don't even know. I think that they would be terrifying. If you were to kind of Google more of what the seraphim look like. Let me. That's right. Sorry. would look more like this. And so we have this, these are some good representations. I'll go to somebody that's, let's see. Well, as you can see, they're kind of creepy looking. And so this is this angel, and then we have the cherubim, which are also not accurately usually thought of. So you see, there's all this. And then there's, I believe that with the seraphim, or perhaps it is the cherubim, they have the group that have 4 wings, and they have another group that have 6 wings. But the reason I'm saying this is that the story of Azazel, who is also one of the angels, one of the fallen angels who comes to earth, along with Lucifer as well, you know. Well, Azazel, in the account, gets married. And see, with the Djinn, they can be both female and male. Azazel, my brain is like. So Azazel, he's also considered like an angel of death in a lot of ways, and just I'm not going to talk about Azazel today, but I did want to mention that there is an account where he gets married. I thought this was important because, oh shoot, I guess I should get off this here. So, goodness. Okay. It's a nervous thing. So I think this is interesting right here because it's referenced to here too, that Azazel is a Grigori. Now, I wonder if Lucifer too would be considered one of the Grigori, one of the Watchers, one of these ancient forebear spirits of the earth. So here we have him. He was one of the fallen angels, and he's supposed to be incredibly terrifying or something like that. He's this evil thing. But I really want to find the part where it talks about that he marries a woman, and it's very strange. And see, it's interesting here too. Muslim tradition takes the story of Azazel even further back to the days when he ranked among the good angels. Some scholars believe that he was amongst the most wise and noble angels, and that he fought against the Djinn who lived on earth before humans. See, this is where I'm just very confused about this, because there's this mix-up between the Djinn and the angels, and there seems to be not a lot of clarity, because in one case, yes, right here it is, a group of angels that married, in Christianity, they married mortal women and produced children. Well, see, that doesn't flow well with the idea that angels don't actually have a sex. And I think that that's just very interesting. But aside from that, the fact that Iblis had made the choice in general to even not worship man would insinuate that he could have been a Djinn, as is said many times. But I'm leaning more towards the possibility of that. But it's very confusing between the Djinn and the angels, because according to the Yezidi, they believe that it is an angel. So it's just very fascinating, and I wanted to bring that to your attention. And I think I'll end it right there for now, because I'm going to gather my thoughts about this and then come back with it as well. Thanks for watching.